Welcome back to the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. I am your host, John Henry, coming to you from the STL area. What's up? Thank you for tuning in. My voice just cracked because I'm so excited about this weekend. It's Record Store Day, April 22nd, Saturday, April 22nd. It's a great day. Celebration of independent record stores all around the country, as well as independent artists. And we are lucky here in St. Louis to have a very rich record store scene. We are working with Vintage Vinyl and Euclid Records this year. I will be DJing at Vintage Vinyl. Yeah, that's right. DJ JH on the ones and twos on my iPad, my computer, my Mac. And I'm going to bring some vinyl, though. So I'm going to be spinning some records at Vintage Vinyl at 10 o'clock. That's a.m., you music business people. 10 o'clock a.m. at Vintage Vinyl. And it's going to be great. There's live music. A bunch of bands going to be playing outside. And Jason Isbell and his wife Amanda Shires are releasing the Sound Emporium EP, which will be very cool. It features tracks where he sings lead on one or a couple, and she sings lead on a couple. You just kind of mix and match it. So looking forward to checking that out for sure. And, okay, here's my favorite record store day story. I got to check the year. I would imagine it would have been around 2016 or 17. Jim Utz, shout out to Jim Utz, who was the head of publicity at Vintage Vinyl at the time, was leaving, and for his farewell, his mic drop. So I see Jim, and I go, "What's up?" And he goes, I just booked Mumford & Son for record store day at Vintage Vinyl. Do you want to go? And I'm like, well, shit, yeah, I want to go to that. My wife's a huge fan, too. Like a bigger fan than me, and we were already going to that show. So I'm like, I'm going to get to see a cool show, a really kind of like unique experience, which I highly recommend if you can, checking out your favorite band in a tiny venue. That's my favorite place to see live music, and as well as outdoor festivals, actually. That's also something I'm really into. So we go in, we get to like kind of right at the front, really sweet seats. They come in, they play a short set, seem cool as hell. They said they were hungover, as I recall. And then they bounced, and that night at the Enterprise, they put on a great show. So that's my favorite record day story. Dreams are made, so come on out. This is just your little ticket update for how we're doing on everything. We are 97 point, hang on, let me check. Yeah, 97% sold out of the seats. There's like a handful left, so if you want to sit, you better buy the seat. They're going to be gone this week. And the 2-day GA pass, which is $100. $100 for Jason Isbell, Blackberry Smoke, SG Goodman, Heavy, and some of the best St. Louis talent. I mean, come on, that's a great deal. Anyway, those are going right behind. So check that out. I mentioned it last week, but we have a merch store that's up and going. It's really cool. When you go to it, click, there's different color options and stuff. We have a new site. We're working with By Jack, who will be selling merch at the festival this year. So check that out. Very excited about that. And we're just very grateful for the response. If you want to get involved, you can. Here are the things you could do. You could share the event. You could share this. You could share anything that comes from the Open Highway Music Fest socials. You could volunteer. Put the email address in the description. What we do for the volunteering type of thing is you come in and you work like a 4-hour shift, and then you get a weekend pass, so you get to hang out for the rest of the time. And it's fun. We had a handful last year that were great. Going to have some of them back. Hopefully all of them back, but we're working that out now. So if you want to get involved, hit us up. Thank you. Hello, Beth. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really well. Thanks for doing this. This is kind of fun.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're doing it. This is like the only thing about COVID that I actually like still is the Zooms for certain things. We can.
Yeah, as long as you don't have to do it, don't get burnout. I think we're way past that point. Now it's just
Yeah.
kind of a nice, easy way to catch up with people.
And then, but people didn't see this 5 minutes ago when I was like frantically trying to get the internet wired in to make this work. So be careful. Be careful what you wish for. But
Yeah, that's the whole
yeah,
downside of technology sometimes. It can be great and it can be a bitch.
it can ruin me. Yeah. Well, we've known each other for a really long time. I've been a huge fan of yours for as long as I can remember. And you got off the road this weekend. You just had some shows going. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I went out. I did a solo run, Central Illinois up to Chicago. It's always really fun for me to go play in Chicago. There's just it's a great city, of course. And now I hear a helicopter going over my house right now. I don't know if you can hear that.
No, maybe it's the police looking for you, probably.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're probably looking for me.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so had some really great solo shows, which I've started doing a little more solo touring just because it's getting a full band's
Yeah.
scheduling and logistics together to go on the road can be difficult sometimes, and it can be a little expensive. So I'm kind of balancing that, but definitely gearing up to put out a new record, which comes out in
Great.
August.
Awesome.
And so when I play Open Highway, we'll play a lot of those new songs, and
Yeah.
some of those will be out as singles, so you can listen to them
That's
probably
great.
on the radio and Spotify and all of that.
All that stuff. Yeah. Do you have a working title for it, or are you still working through it, or can you not even
Yeah,
say?
no, it's pretty much all of that hard stuff is done now. So
Great.
the title is called It All Goes Up.
It all goes up.
And
That's cool. That's very cool.
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm very
Did you record it
excited.
here in town, or?
Yeah, we did. We recorded it with my friend Dan Merriman, and right now he's working out of Midtown Sound House, which is, if anyone's familiar with the old Jupiter Studios, that's that space. So they kind of redid the whole studio. It's pretty nice now, and they have a live room, a mixing room. They have a few B room type things, and they have a mastering suite, and they have a Dolby Atmos room.
Oh,
which is cool.
Really cool. Yeah. Like Dan, he's mastered some stuff. He's really great at mastering. He's mastered a little bit of music that I've done. So that's very cool. Cool. So August, we'll be looking for that. All right. Should we get into it?
Sure. Here we go.
All right. It's time for Sharing is Caring. Beth, what is your favorite lunch spot, or one of your favorite lunch spots to go to in St. Louis?
This is a hard one for me because I love food.
Yeah.
But a solid sandwich is always great. But sort of right now, my favorite go-to is Lona's. Lona's Little Eats. I don't know if you've ever been
cool.
there.
Yeah. Seen a little bit.
Yeah, it's super great. It's sort of in the Fox Park neighborhood.
Okay.
But they say they do Asian fusion, but I think that's an apt description. But they've got these like rice paper wraps, which sort of like they're big. It's like a burrito. So it's you can get chicken and veggies and rice noodles all together in wrapped in a rice paper wrap. So it's like an Asian burrito.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I might go there.
Yeah, those are really good. Highly recommend. And I'm a huge fan of eggplant, which not a lot of people, that's not a standard vegetable, I think. But for some reason, I really like it, and I chalk it up to being Italian.
Yeah.
So they have a really good spicy eggplant appetizer there that I'm a big fan of.
Very cool. Yeah, well, that's a new one for this segment. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Have to put the link in the comments. Do you have a dream instrument that you would like to own or record or play with?
I mean, So I've always thought it would be cool to be able to play the harp.
The harp.
And you can get small harps, you can get lap harps, but like the giant, stand on the floor, that would be kind of cool to know how to play. I think because that's sort of a rare instrument.
Yeah. I wonder where you could get one of those, because last week Maddie Shell was saying she wanted to learn how to play drums, and this week you were wanting to learn how to play the harp. So maybe you can, we'll just track the progress of that.
Yeah, well,
your
I don't know that
journey.
I actually will. It just seems like an interesting thing. But yeah. I mean, I was going to say the drums too, but like there's drums at my house and I kind of play them, but like it would be really fun to be a drummer in a band at some point. It would be so
cool. Yeah.
But the other instrument, I know you just asked for one, but the theremin would be really cool. Woo! And I think that's a little more accessible than a harp.
Probably. Certainly easier to carry.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have a song or a record that you're really into that's living in your head rent free right now?
Let's see. So are you familiar with artist named Dylan LeBlanc?
Yes.
Yeah. I just like he's got sort of a unique voice, and I just I love it. And I think his most recent record he put out, I believe, is in 2019 called Renegade. But that whole record, I mean, I keep coming back to that. And that song in particular, Renegade, is the first track on the record. But it's upbeat, it's feel good, and it's just sort of it's really groovy, and it gets stuck in my head a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, he's a very cool artist. He's been touring hard for years. Where's a place that you like to go that you find happiness?
Short answer to that is just anywhere outside in nature.
Yeah.
Going for a hike. But my ultimate favorite is Lake Michigan.
Nice.
And it's sort of I grew up by Lake Michigan, and to me that's just I just feel free. I feel any heaviness lifted, and it's just it's a happy place for me.
That's very cool. You're a road dog. You travel a lot, you tour a lot. I wanted to see if there is a mundane thing that you do on the road that brings you happiness as well. Just something that people may not think is something cool that happens when you're out playing shows that you enjoy.
I like to, it sounds silly, but I like to take a nice long walk around the venue, the neighborhood, because every venue they have their similarities, but they're different. And so just taking note of the space that's around the venue, and sort of there's always a vibe, and it's neat to find those similarities that sort of remind me of home, and then notice the differences and what types of people are hanging out. And so just taking a walk around the venue.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, yeah, that's our segment. Thank you so much. I always wanted to see if you want to plug your album a little bit. I know it's not till August, but anything that people want to know, or your website or anything like that?
Yeah. So the first single on the album comes out May 5th, which is not too far from now.
No, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, so if they want, they can make sure they're following me on Spotify, or go to bethbombara.com. That's going to have a lot of we'll have the Spotify links and upcoming shows and Open Highway Festival, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Now we'll put a link for your Spotify and your website in the comments below.
Cool.
Thanks this so was much, great. John. Yeah, thank you. It's good to see you. Thanks for the short catch up.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for bearing with the internet issues when we started.
No problem.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
See ya.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Beth as much as I enjoyed getting to speak with her and do the interview. So she's a great artist. Check out her new stuff. the forthcoming stuff, we'll have a link below so you could get the information on that. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. You know the drill. You probably know the drill better than me. But thank you for listening again, and we'll talk to you all next week. See ya. Thanks.